What's happening, everybody? Good morning, and welcome to episode 1 of Morning Perspective. So this is something new for me. I've always wanted to do something like this. I always wanted to reach out and build a platform, create a platform that really was able to help a lot of people. And so today is the first step in that direction of doing that, of accomplishing that goal that I had of just reaching a lot of people and doing something good for the world. And I thought, man, there's no better way to do that than to start it out first thing in the morning for folks, being able to provide some topics, some guests that will be helpful to how people start their day and get them started off on the right foot, headed in a positive direction that will make every single day of everybody's life that joins this show and shares this show a little bit better. So, in an effort to make sure that we reach as many people, I decided to do this at 7:30 a.m. I figured there would be a lot of people that would be available at that time to be able to watch, whether it's on their morning commute, still during their morning routine. But wanted to bring it to people before they got their workday started. I know there's a couple guys that reached out yesterday that are in the construction industry that said, man, I can't watch at 7:30 a.m. I'll be on the back of a paver or I'll be out in the field doing something working. But those guys, you pop your headphones in, man, and you can still listen. So I appreciate all of you guys that are jumping on here and listening to this morning's content. So let me start this first episode. I'm just going to kind of explain why I decided to do this show, and probably much the same reason that I decided to write the book that has the same title as the show, Perspective. I realized that there is a huge need in the world for people to be able to see things from the right perspective. And I encounter a ton of people that struggle quite a bit being able to see things from that perspective that allows them to truly be happy and fulfilled in life. And so, having spent a lot of time myself developing that skill, there's really nothing that I enjoy more in my life than being able to share that perspective and teach others, kind of how to look at things through a different lens. So I just want to say good morning to everybody that hopped on. This show will be shared across other platforms, so iTunes, Spotify, all those things on the podcast platform, so you guys will be able to grab it on audio if you missed the live versions. And as this thing develops, we'll be sharing it across a bunch of different ways. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. But our mission here is to just help as many people as we can live happier, more fulfilled lives, with hopefully in the process creating a lot of success through the knowledge that we share here. And so I would ask you guys to share the stream to your own personal pages, your business pages, wherever you can get it that'll reach more people, because the ultimate mission is to impact and help as many people as possible. So this morning's topics are interesting, and I chose them for a reason, because I think, a lot of people have misconceptions about life and what it's really supposed to be, and definitely have misconceptions in the realm of, what happiness really is and how life is supposed to be, and then what ultimately everyone's opinion of quote unquote success is supposed to look like. And so those are two topics that are always coming up in conversation when I sit down with people. And so I really wanted to cover those two topics, and it was important for me to put those in the front of the line when it comes to the topics that we cover. So we're going to start off quickly here with life isn't supposed to be easy. This is an interesting one. I watched a video from Dr. Jordan Peterson. If you guys don't know who that is, I would encourage you to go out and look up some of his YouTube videos. I don't agree with all of his views. I'll just go on record to say that. But I do think that he is a very intelligent guy that brings a lot of perspective around this topic to people. And so certainly he did to me. So Dr. Peterson says that life ultimately is about suffering. And so I think it's interesting that when we are children, we are ultimately trained from our childhood to believe that life is supposed to be easy, that we're supposed to be protected. And I think that, you know, as we get into our adult lives, that we figure out that life is really the opposite of that, right? And it's not, by the way, it's interesting because that title, life isn't supposed to be easy, can come across to some people as a negative. And it's not a negative at all. It's just reality, right? And so it's not meant to be easy. You know, you'll hear a lot of times people say anything that's easy isn't worth it, and anything that's worth it isn't easy. I think we would all agree that living life and having the happiness and interactions and people around us is certainly worth it. And so it's just not meant to be easy. So life really is about learning how to navigate through the suffering, right? Through the discomfort, through going through those things that allow us to get the happiness on the other side of the suffering. I can't think of anything in my life that I've achieved, that I've been successful at, that didn't take some level of suffering. And so, you know, if you go back to the beginning of time, I think, you know, everybody knows that many, many years ago, there was someone nailed to a cross. That's the ultimate example of suffering, right? And so when you think about suffering in that realm, it's easy to understand. It's a lot more difficult for us to accept that ultimately life is about suffering and it's not just meant to be easy, right? And so when you start to look at your own life, you have to be careful that you're not expecting happiness, that you're not expecting easy to just happen, because that's not the way it works. Anything that comes in your life, whether it's, you know, fulfillment, happiness, things seeming easy at the time, most likely that came from some sacrifice and suffering back in the day. And, you know, whether that was a month before, 6 months before, 90 days before, most of the time, any amount of happiness and fulfillment that you have in your life came with a level of suffering or sacrifice. And so I think that it's important for us to recognize that and to really spend some time starting to think about what our subconscious mind does for us throughout our days. And so, you know, this is something for me personally. I will share, you know, a little bit of my journey. It's like, I'm still working on this, you know, and I've been, you know, heavily invested into self-development and really trying to, you know, create myself into a better version of myself for years and years and years. And, you know, when those storms or seasons of life come and they're difficult, we still have to remind ourselves of all of these things that we're talking about right now, of the fact that it is not supposed to be easy. And I think that, you know, really life is created from your subconscious mind. And so I would challenge you today to think about, you know, what that really looks like for you. So, you know, when the storms of life come, what emotions are triggered by those storms? You know, when bad things happen, when you get a little anxiety in your life, ask yourself this question: how long does it stick around? And what is the first emotion reaction that you go to when something bad happens? And I would tell you guys this: whatever that emotion is far less important than you actually recognizing what that is and realizing that you can reprogram it. And I am proof of it. I promise you. You know, it's not an easy thing to do. But ultimately, once you start to make progress on these kinds of things, you will start to learn so much about yourself and so much about the blueprint that has made you who you are and why you have started to believe that life is supposed to be easy for you. And ultimately, most of the time those things come from childhood, right? It comes from somebody telling you when you were younger, or reminding you of certain things, or maybe that concern for you, like when something happens to you, that emotion is concern or worry. And sometimes that comes from, people's childhood. So, I would just tell you to really, really take a look at that stuff and try to figure out where it is that you go when these storms of life come, and then try to reprogram that to a different emotion. So think about, when the suffering comes, Ed Mylett is a huge influence on my life. Like, I follow that guy. I listen to everything that he has to say. I am a member of the Arete program and get coaching, directly from Ed on a regular basis going forward. Now, I just started it, just got the first lesson. And some of what I'm telling you today is from that lesson that I learned from him last week. But it is, you have the ability to choose the emotions that you attach to certain events that happen in your life. And so when those events of suffering happen, you have to understand that those things, as Ed says repeatedly, if you listen to his podcast, those things are happening for you, not to you. Everything in life is a gift if you look at it that way. And so, I would just challenge your mind to think about, the fact that life, it is absolutely not meant to be easy. And so that feeling of fulfillment, and we're going to get into this because this is the second part of the conversation this morning, that feeling of fulfillment or success truly comes in the form of the emotions that are attached to the events that happen, right? So you can feel success even in the eye of a storm if that's the way you choose to look at it. If you choose the proper perspective. The last chapter of the book that's coming out soon is called What If Heaven Was Just a New Pair of Glasses? And the truth is, it is truly that easy. It is as easy as choosing how you look at things and understanding that even in those moments of extreme adversity, and we've all been there, there's not one person that you see, follow, look up to, whatever it is, that hasn't been through those seasons of life. And how you get through those seasons of life, in my opinion, is a couple of things. Number one, it is choosing to be grateful for those opportunities to work through things. And number two, it is the people that you choose to surround yourself with that will help you through those moments. And, they say, show me your circle and I'll show you your future. And it couldn't be more true. To kind of wrap up this topic, guys, just remember, life is not meant to be easy. And for you to truly feel fulfilled in life, that comes with adversity. It comes with you having to go through some things that allow you to feel that victory at a higher level. And so anybody that's ever played sports in their life and has won a championship or has, been to an important game and won, they will tell you that the suffering that they went through, the hard work, the practice, the adversity along the way, the injuries that maybe happened on the team, that's what makes the victory sweeter. And so just remember that as you go through your days and you encounter these things, man, they're a gift. They're there to hopefully teach you something, So just remember that, take it all in stride, and man, you guys will be on your way to just seeing life through a different lens and being able to embrace these things that happen to you instead of choosing that emotion of worry, concern, overwhelmed, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. Just choose to just embrace it, and man, you will be definitely living happier days and more fulfilled days if you can just look through it through that lens. So real quick before we get into the second topic, if you guys haven't shared this stream or tagged somebody in the comments that you think might want to hear this, please, the mission of this show is to help as many people as possible. So say hello in the comments, and I will see you guys, and I'll give you guys a shout out here in a minute when we get to the end. But I appreciate it. We've had a lot of people on this stream this morning, so I appreciate you guys waking up with me this morning. And hopefully this is bringing a lot of value to you. So if it is bringing some value, hit the like button, put some comments in there, and make this conversational amongst all of you who are watching too. I think that's how people learn and how people get the most benefit out of this kind of content. So the second topic is success is not a destination. This is an interesting topic because I think that society has really done all of us a disservice in how success is marketed in today's world. And so, for me and for a lot of people that I talk to, and I spend time interacting with a lot of different people, trying to learn as much as I can. And a lot of those people are very successful from even society's definition, right? And so what I would tell you, the reality of success by my definition and by a lot of other people's definitions that I interact with is it is not an amount of money. So it's not a destination, and it is not an amount of money. No one that's successful will tell you, by the way, that money doesn't matter, because it does matter. It is one of the ways that we are able to do things in the world, right? So we are able to donate to our church, do things for charity, help our families, have security, so have an inner sense of security. But it's just not the only thing that matters. And so for me, it's really been a journey, because I can tell you that, in my 20s, I didn't have the same perspective on this topic as I do now. And it's not that I ever thought, money was the most important thing. It's just that, I had a different perspective on it. And so, but what I've learned through many, many years of, ups and downs, making more money, making less money, being in places where I didn't have any money, and then being in places where I had plenty, it has never changed who I am. The amount of money that's been in my bank account has never changed the person that I was on a daily basis. It has never changed my level of happiness. The money did not dictate how happy I was. And so what I would tell you guys is this, and I think that a lot of people in their careers, in their lives, chase the wrong thing. And I can't remember who said it, but I heard this last week. It was Tom Ziglar. So Zig Ziglar's son was on a friend of mine, Ken Walls, had Tom Ziglar on his show. And Tom said that his father said, don't ever chase money because it's too fast. You'll never catch it. If you just chase fulfillment, you just chase, feeling like you're doing something well, chase the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of truly being fulfilled by serving and helping others, then you'll have everything you want. One of the things I'm in the process right now of creating a vision board. So all my goals will go up on the wall here next to my desk. And, Zig Ziglar has a quote that says, if you can have anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want in life. And that is, for me, fulfillment is really success. It is that feeling of fulfillment. When I'm coaching someone, or I'm helping someone in sales, or I'm helping one of our people on our team, and they get results from that, and they have that feeling of fulfillment. It's almost like that feeling of success is multiplied by 10, 100 times what it is for even my own feeling of accomplishment. And so, just remember that success is not a destination. It is truly a journey of embracing who you are supposed to be, what your true potential is. To me, that is the ultimate destination of success. Is, when it's your time to go, when you're 85 years old, 90 years old, and you're looking back on your life, and you can truly look back in a sense of fulfillment, that you helped a lot of people, that you spent a lot of time serving others, that you made a lot of impact on other people. That is truly, to me, the definition of success. And it takes a lifetime to achieve that. And so I would ask you guys to really look within yourself and think about how much time you spend thinking about, just money and paying your bills and doing the things you have to survive. And I would tell you to just try to start choosing a path of doing the things that fulfill you. And it's not about doing things just that make you feel good. If we all just did things that made us feel good, that is not enough. You have to choose that path of fulfillment that really deep down within you, you can look back on your life and know that you made a difference. And so the analogy I would give to you guys is this. At the end of your life, it doesn't matter if you have millions of dollars, $10, $100 in your bank account. Eventually, that money will expire. But the impact that you made on other people and those people's ability to pass that on to other people, that will live on forever. And it is something that I think society has a different spin on a lot of times. I think that we're marketed to through the media channels and through social media, and people tend to look at people's lives and just want what they have, but they don't realize the path that people had to take to get there. And so never feel like, success is something, it's some place in your life that you're going to get to, because, for me, there have been many things in my life that, I set goals of, a certain level of income, a certain level of what I wanted to do in my life, owning a business, having a wife, having children. And so when you get to those places and you achieve those goals, you haven't arrived. You have just achieved the goal. And so now you are a better version of yourself. You've achieved that better version of yourself, but it doesn't end there, because now the ceiling of your potential has changed. And so it is our responsibility as human beings to use those gains that we make to serve other people. And, that is ultimately what this life is about, is looking around you, seeing other people who might need a hand, who might need some encouragement, who might need a different perspective to start their day, that you can lend a hand to those people. You can give some of your time, some of your knowledge, some of your skills, and you truly can make an impact on the world. It has been one of the greatest joys of my life, has been finding my way into, in some way, I guess you could call it the profession of helping other people. We have a company that helps and coaches and trains contractors on how to sell, market, lead, et cetera, better. And there literally is no greater joy in my life than watching people come into our program that are already great human beings. They're great people. They want to help other people. They have all the values that we look for in clients that we help. They become more successful, and you can watch that work that you do truly have a ripple effect. It's like, throwing a pebble into a lake, and you watch that ripple effect of how that impacts the world. And man, I got chills just talking about it right now, because there is no greater fulfillment in my life outside of, obviously my children, my wife, my family. There is no greater fulfillment in my life than helping people and lending a hand and watching their lives improve. And so that is the idea of this show, guys. So if you haven't shared it out on your own personal pages, again, if you would do that, I would be incredibly grateful for you to share this stream so that it reaches as many people as possible. In the coming weeks here, you're going to see some guests coming on this show. We're going to bring people on that have incredible perspective themselves. They're going to share their perspective and how it has created more success in their own lives. And they're going to share that knowledge with you. And so I'm trying to get as many different types of people out there that come from a different walk of life, a different background, different professions, so that everybody that tunes into this show in the morning will get a high level of value and pull some different angles from different people. And, our mission, again, guys, is to help people just start their days better, live a happier, more fulfilled life, and hopefully all of us find a higher level of success in the process of doing that. So I appreciate all of you guys who have joined on here, So I see Sean, Charlie, Trisha, Beverly, George. Is funny, man. I have so many of my childhood teachers that are now on social media, and I get the pleasure of interacting with those people. So it's cool, man. It's how life comes full circle. Aaron Park, Cindy, Guy, what's happening, man? Hello from Texas. Stephanie, what's up from Canada? Tim Alt, good morning, man. How are you? Linda Barber, Frank, Kevin, Justin, Pam, Landon, Matt, Christina, Brian, Alex, Curtis, Dave. Man, the list is long here. Carrie Ann, Kathy, man, thank you guys so much for joining on the stream this morning. Hopefully you guys, when I get this out on iTunes, I would ask you to share that out with your friends. You can send it via text, via DM. You'll be able to copy a link and send it. And make sure that when that comes out, you take a minute to review the show, give us a 5-star rating so that we can reach more people on iTunes, Spotify, etc. And, man, I appreciate you guys spending 30 minutes of your morning with me this morning. Hopefully it was valuable, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you, guys.